And if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved. You don't like my Twitter feed? Unfollow me. Magic.
If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. How's that going, Kelly? Oh my god, what is this? Kelly Sue DeConnick announces her departure from DC's Aquaman. And then what's this? DC Comics cancels Aquaman indefinitely. Oh my god. Why? I wonder why. What's up, all my Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl. And mind-blowing, right? That, didn't they just come out with a movie with Jason Momoa, and they have them all, wet and shirtless and glorious and made $1 billion? But oh my gosh, Aquaman made $1 billion, cinematically, but the comic is tanking because the comic that Kelly Sue DeConnick wrote, she inserted her politics and then nobody bought her book, so they canceled it. Ironic. Now, why am I talking about this? Because this is a Star Wars video. We're talking about the author of one of the High Republic books. Well, author Justina Ireland, she, kind of followed Kelly Sue DeConnick's, little path here. So let's take a look. So this is the tweet that Justina was responding to. Content creators, it used to be common folk wisdom to not share political beliefs of fear of losing fans. How has the last 4 years changed that? Are you still afraid of losing fans? Now Justina responds, the problem is if you don't like my politics and my beliefs and my moral compass, you aren't going to like my books. So let's just go ahead and save everyone some time. Then she, further, plus there's like an Amazon warehouse or Starbucks on every corner, and I've had worse jobs, so YOLO. Now, she's obviously being satirical. I'm over here like, wouldn't you have like a little bit of higher standards for yourself? But, it is what it is. Now, the reason why I know she's being satirical here and, being completely honest here is that I did my research on her. So when they first announced who all of the Star Wars authors was going to be, the first thing that I do when I want to do research on an individual person is I go and I try to find interviews of them. Now, it's one thing to read an article. It's very flat, especially when you do not know anything about the person. If I were to, just tweet something, my best friend and, people that watch my videos, they're going to have a good idea of what I mean because they know me. You guys get a sense of, the way that I say certain words or, my sense of humor. I can be very sarcastic and I have, a little bit more of a darker sense of humor. But when you don't know anything about someone, just reading something, a lot of times people take it for face value. Whereas, you watch an interview with someone and you get to see their mannerisms, their body language, their tone of voice, the way they emphasize certain things. And, or, if you said a certain sentence and you're, being 100% sarcastic and, it's meant to be taken as a joke, but when it's written, you are like, oh, you not knowing them, you just automatically assume, oh, they're being 100% serious. So, again, back when all of the writers for, Disney, the High Republic project, that's, basically the prequel to the prequels, I went and I looked up all of, the authors that are going to be working on this project because I wanted to know who these people were. Should I look forward to these books? And so Justina, out of all of them, was the most shocking to see. Now, I am going to play you this clip. I've talked about this multiple times on, various live streams, and, I've been kind of letting people know. Now, I didn't share this clip initially because it's from a few years ago. I was like, maybe things have changed since then. But I'm going to play you this clip, and I'm going to show afterwards how nothing has changed. So let's take a look at this. Here we go.
I was just wondering, where do you get your inspiration from when you're writing?
I'm really angry. So angry. And the world just keeps giving me more inspiration. For a lot of things, my inspiration is what makes me move. And what makes me move is rage. Other people it's love. Other people it's just telling a story. So I don't like read long books unless they like really pull me in. And I tend to read, when I read historical fiction, I tend to read it for perspectives that you don't get in the classroom, or you don't get like every time like 4th of July comes around. I'm like, I don't need another story about George Washington, right? Like, I know what the dude did. Like, we get it, George. But I think, like, I really want to know, like, those perspectives that we haven't heard traditionally through history. I was in college the first time I realized that, like, history wasn't all just, like, white dudes. I was like, oh, crap, there are other people there, too. Thanks, Howard Zinn. Look, historians do it all the time, man. Like, all your history books are, like, the story that some dude decided was the truth, right? So, like, okay, so, like, my undergrad is in history, and like I almost finished a master's in history, and then I went and did an MFA instead because thank you, because that's what I do with my life. I never finish things. But the thing about history is it's all about people, and it's all about people reacting to the events of the time. And if you know people and the people mindset of that time, you can change history to say whatever you want it to be. Like, I didn't know until this year that the Civil War was not about slavery. Like, that's amazing, guys. Like, all this time, I thought it was about slavery. It's about economics, apparently, even in case, or states' rights, one of those two.
Now, that's alarming to say the least, but again, that was from a few years ago when I first saw this, when I was initially doing my research months and months and months ago. I was like, you know, again, that was years ago. Maybe things have changed a little bit. But they haven't. They haven't. So I have pulled up here, Disney Star Wars is done by the one and only Ichibaka. So Justina Ireland really hates white people. In our continuing journey through the open hatred for white people at Lucasfilm, we discover that apparently the only people allowed to broadcast openly racist comments are the ones who constantly accuse everyone else around them of being racist. The new High Republic book, Out of the Shadows from Justina Ireland, was announced recently. Readers may recall Justina was as the High Republic author who misunderstands American exceptionalism, who doesn't demonize sex work in her young adult novels, and who doesn't like all the white supremacists in Montana. So what was Justina up to in 2020? You guessed it, seething and frothing at the mouth because of white people, of course. What else? Now, I feel like everyone kind of has a different line that, you know, you don't cross. Like this is the line, and this is the point of no return, right? So the way I see it, it's like, you know, because if you have a dark sense of humor, you know, also if you're representing a company like she is, you know, she's got the blue check mark, she's a writer for Star Wars, you shouldn't be tweeting, you know, this kind of stuff. If it's your own personal account, that's different. Again, but that's when ethics comes into play, and if you have a good ethical, you know, moral compass. But all of that aside, the way that I look at it, it's okay. So we're going to be talking about racism, and, you know, obviously you can see it right in front of me. Things haven't really changed. Now, she's going to say, you know, white over and over again, and white this, white this, white this. Now, the way I measure it on if it's racist or not, if you switched out the word white with the word black, would you still be okay with what is being said? If the answer is no, probably racist. Now, go look at, you know, the movie A Time to Kill. Absolutely excellent movie. Matthew McConaughey, Samuel L. Jackson, Sandra Bullock, Kevin Spacey, you know, Kiefer Sutherland, Donald Sutherland, all freaking star cast. And it deals with racism. And Matthew McConaughey's in scene, you know, his in monologue, you know, imagine, and he's talking about a little black girl, and he's trying to empathize, or, you know, get empathy and compassion from an all-white jury, and he says, you know, describing how this little girl was raped and, you know, brutalized. And he says, imagine if that little girl was white. Changes everything about it. So here, with this, would you still be saying this if you switched out the word white with black? I guarantee not. So I'm going to read some of these. I'm not going to read all of them because there is a lot, but it is very alarming, and I just want to give you a taste of it. When publishing really does love it when white people write about racism, don't they? Now switch that out. Woo, publishing really does love it when black people write about racism, don't they? Let's see. Here's this one. White nonsense gets up early, but I get up earlier. Just kidding. White nonsense never sleeps. Imagine if this was black nonsense gets up early, but I get up earlier. Just kidding. Black nonsense never sleeps. Could you imagine the absolute outrage from the world? Because these are blatantly racist things that are being said. You know, it doesn't take, you know, a freaking rocket scientist to see that. But it goes on and on. You know, like hating on To Kill a Mockingbird. If I had a stand, it would be white privilege, and it would look like a middle-aged white dude and convince people I deserve things that I actually don't. LOL, could you imagine? Switch out, you know, white with black. How would she respond? I'm pretty sure Justina wouldn't be too happy. Here we go. It's really not hard to be bitter about all of the white people in publishing regurgitating the things black women have been saying for almost a decade like it's new. Facebook is a trip because it's where you go to learn that all the white people you knew back in the day didn't see you as human until today. Show told them Black Lives Matter and the local Target burned down. Oh my God. Tell me why you decided to make your own main character a white man like you. Is it because you're pushing some sort of agenda? It's like, imagine if somebody said that to her, but, you know, switched out again white with black and switched out the word man with woman. You know, tell why you decided to make your main character a black woman like you. Is it because you're pushing some sort of agenda? She would be absolutely outraged. And it's just, it's one of those things that's self-awareness, but also it's like you're spewing, you're trying to talk against racism when you're just being blatantly racist. It goes so much farther than being self-aware. It's, you know, it's very alarming, but this is one of the people that is going to be writing for Star Wars. And I just wanted to kind of make everyone aware of the situation. If you want to go and read these things, the link for this is in the description of this video. This is from Itchy Baka of Disney Star Wars is Dumb. You can go and read all of these to your heart content. But the thing that I ask for people that think this is okay, if you think this kind of stuff is okay, switch out the word white with the word black and see how you feel about it then. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's okay, too. You know, thank you for watching this far through. If you haven't already, please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell for your notifications. That way you get notifications when I do other videos and live streams. And until next time, everyone, may the Force be with you because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. What's up, everyone? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and I have an Etsy store, so if you've ever wanted to own a print of my artwork, this is the place to go. As you can see, I have a lot of recognizable characters, from horror films to heroes to Star Wars characters. Some of the notable characters I have on here are Darth Vader, which I did a couple live streams painting, so you can own a print of this painting. I also have Luke Skywalker, the binary sunset version, one of my favorite scenes in the original New Hope movie. I have Darth Maul, which Ray Parks himself actually complimented me on Instagram. And then last but certainly not least, Ahsoka Tano. So if you want to own any of these prints, go right on over to my Etsy store. Again, that's The Art of Anna, That Star Wars Girl, or TSWG for short. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.